Hello and welcome along to Aston Villa from the stands. I hope you're well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to whenever you're watching this live stream. I hope you're well. Make sure you're smashing the like button, subscribe to the channel, and get involved in the comment section, whether that's live or on replay. I hope everyone's good. I hope everyone's well. And yeah, big up to you guys. Lots of fascinating stories today. We're going to be talking things at Leon Bailey. You can't help but laugh. You can't help but giggle, and you can't help but feel sorry for the bloke. Yeah, imagine getting injured in your first training session after giving it the big one in front of the fans when you arrived. I can't. Only Leon Bailey could do Leon Bailey things. Second of all, Matty Cash. What's the thoughts on Matty Cash, people? Is it true? Is it not? Fabrizio sort of saying Forest after other right backs, whereas Tanswell's coming in and saying, "Hey, listen, Forest are interested in Matty Cash." And let's have. I did a video yesterday about Nicolas Jackson, and once again, absolutely staggered by the amount of people who are for that deal. People, let's give our brains a bloody wobble here. You really want to be locked into a Nicolas Jackson deal with the money that's being asked, the obligation to buy? Are you kidding me? So let's talk those things and any other transfer news. A bit of positive as well about Moreno. Obviously, he's found the new club, apparently. He's sort of helped us out a little bit by cutting his wages down to join them. So things are good, and I hope you're all good. Listen, just an elephant in the room, as always. If you're looking and going, "Oh, this is a different background," or it may, hopefully, it doesn't sound too echoey to you. I don't know, but basically, I'm in the process of moving house. Currently, have no furniture. I'm sat on a cushion on the floor. I've got a table. And yeah, we are in the process of moving. We have no furniture in here. We have no furniture upstairs. We have no furniture anywhere. So yeah, we've been back and forth today. So yeah, big up to everyone. And yeah, hopefully the sound quality is still all good. It just feels a little bit more echoey in this room while I'm in here, but we should be good. But yeah, let's do who's in here. VJ said like and subscribe. Absolutely. Andy said no to Nicolas Jackson. We're definitely going to talk more. Listen, about Nicolas Jackson, I was genuinely surprised and staggered to the amount of Villa fans who are still trying to again justify this type of signing. But I don't want to go into it too much yet because that is going to be the main topic for the second half show. Big up to Geordie Team for life. Big up, and yeah, family doing well. Thank you so much, Geordie. And listen, Newcastle Isak situation. My gosh, it's gripping for everyone. And I think Newcastle are about to do the biggest statement of their lives. Could we see Alexander Isak rotting in the reserves? Wow. There's no U-turn there, but big up to you, Geordie. Thanks for tuning in. Did someone injure him, or was it just him pulling up? Well, what do you reckon it was, ABC85? What do you reckon it was? Because it's solely on Bailey. Let's get into the news. Jimmy says he can't get rid of those Weetabix legs. It's cheese strings, it's hamstrings, it's all sort of strings that are snapping in Leon Bailey. And honestly, guys, I don't know if you've seen the video of him giving it the big one as he arrives in Rome, and Roma fans are chanting. He's literally giving it a yes, come on. And I'm thinking, go on then, Bailey, give it beans. And yeah, sort of backfired a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to get the story up about Bailey. Can't wait to talk about Matty Cash as well. And yeah, big up to you guys. I hope we don't sign Jackson, says Aston Villa stands. Facts. DA says, move to Aston. It's lovely. No crime whatsoever. Well, look, the biggest crime in Aston right now is that we're not signing players, and we are certainly, in a little bit of an interesting situation as a club right now. I really do believe that. I'm going to touch again on tonight as well the John McGinn and Tyrone Mings statements, people, about Jacob Ramsey. I've sort of taken a genuine bit of time to reflect on John McGinn and Tyrone Mings, and basically saying, no one to say a bad word on Jacob Ramsey. Well, I've got a word to say, and we should be allowed to, but I think it's very interesting that players are starting to be vocal about the PSR and SCR. And all I'm going to say is this, to give you a little snippet, is let's do the talking on the pitch, boys. If we qualify for Champions League, we won't be in this situation. If we got over the line at Old Trafford or some of the other games where we drew Brighton 2-2 at home or dropped points against Ipswich, or ifs and buts where we've dropped points last season, players like John McGinn and Tyrone Mings wouldn't need to be doing these vocal Instagram posts. Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? Very easy to come in on PSR and SCR and those situations. And again, with Jacob Ramsey himself, let's have a look in the mirror here. Has Jacob Ramsey done enough in the last season or two to actually go, do you know what? He's unsellable. We cannot get rid of Jacob Ramsey. He hasn't done that. He hasn't done that. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't put himself in that position. Whereas Morgan Rogers, for me, is that guy. So yeah, a little bit on that. I was genuinely a little bit shocked. I was a little bit shocked to actually see a very vocal John McGinn and Tyrone Mings on the Jacob Ramsey situation. I can't lie. I definitely stepped back and thought, boys, hold on a second. Why is you not obsessed with the forward line midfielders? As obviously, Paul has now the primary the defence has been saying days appointed. Yeah, he's dressing it. Jackson would be a good sign if he costs 20 million, but the numbers being talked about are crazy. Exactly, Bosnia. And that's why we need to open our eyes and really stop just taking any transfer. And I guess this is what this transfer window has done to Villa fans, is that we're getting to the stage now where we're just desperate to see a new face, that we're trying to convince ourselves that this financial tie that we're going to get into with Nicolas Jackson is actually ludicrous. It's actually ridiculous. People want to keep throwing the words PSR and SCR and all this to me about Villa can't do this and Villa can't do that. And then we're going to get ourselves entangled in a situation with Nicolas Jackson that is just a brain dead financially. William says he scored 2 goals in 2 seasons. As I said, he's got the same amount of pass Jacob Ramsey did goals and assists. So I'll go back to John McGinn. I'll go back to Tyrone Mings and say, don't say a bad word on him. I'm sure he's a humble lad. I'm sure he's worked his socks off on the training pitch. I'm sure he wanted to stay, but he's not done enough. He's not done enough. And guess what, lads? I'll go back to my captain again. As a team, you didn't do enough last season to get Champions League football, to make sure your guy stays. You know? We have to sort of say that to players. And I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be really honest with you, as I always try to do in these shows. I don't want to have to watch a season where I'm hearing little jibes and snippets about PSR and SCR throughout the season because of poor performances and results. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear players and managers using PSR and SCR as an excuse. Because again, as people rightly pointed out in the stream that we done at the weekend, PSR had nothing to do with why Unai Emery didn't bring on Donyell Marlin and Evan Gesson. PSR had nothing to do with the Esri Konsa red card. So I don't want to hear those excuses. And I've just heard John McGinn. He did an interview a couple of weeks ago where McGinn was vocal about the situation. He's come on social media again. Look, great. As players, you want to stand forth. You want to, make your voice be heard. You want to actually be heard by the governing bodies and those to be. That you're not happy. But guess what? They don't care. They don't care about just one or two voices. It's got to be the whole union. It's got to be the whole clubs. It's got to be all 20 Premier League clubs. You're never going to get all 20 Premier League clubs because it benefits the top 6. So they don't care. So that's where performances on the pitch, talking on the pitch really does count. And so I will be very disappointed if I keep seeing those excuses being made by the squad and the management. I really will. Right, let's go on to Leon Bailey then, because this is crazy. If you haven't seen the news, and I'll come to the chat again in a second, guys. Leon Bailey, this is just not right. This is actually where you have to look at Bailey and go, mate, when are you gonna actually, realise that you're gonna get a really bad name for yourself, a really bad name? So it came out like this. It came from the AS Roma press. Which is here. It's here. Bailey suffered injury in first training session at risk of missing 3 weeks of action. And there it is. Let me see if I can get this article to load. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Confirmed official here, because we like to be accurate in our reporting. Have a look at this. However, his debut with Roma will likely have to be postponed. As reported by Masego, Bailey injured himself in today's training session. The player is expected to undergo tests tomorrow and could miss up to 3 weeks of action. Bailey injured himself. Bailey injured himself. You couldn't make it up. You can't make these things up with Leon Bailey. Like, you actually can't. It becomes absolutely nuts when you look at it. Again, someone else reporting it. I know Roma haven't officially reported it, but again, a story comes out here. Just so we're clear, a story comes out here from I've just translated it. It says La Fuente's Italian journal. It says AS Roma Bailey out at the first training session, muscle injury test tomorrow. Like this just does no good for this buy situation of buying Leon Bailey as well. But can you get your head around this? Bailey goes to AS Roma, he gives it the big one, and he comes off the plane. Let me see if I can see this video. I don't know if you guys have seen this video of Leon Bailey. Again, absolutely like loved by yeah, like you got Bailey here. Here he is. Here's Leon Bailey right here. Big up to everyone in the chat. I'll come to the comments in a second. Let's just get some Bailey footage for you all. So, a story of Leon Bailey, basically. He holds the shirt. He looks super happy. He's there. AS Roma, all great official. Everyone's really happy. He turns up in his training gear. Yes, Leon Bailey, ready to go. And then next thing you know, Bailey is injured. And you think, do you know what? You couldn't call it. No, you couldn't say it. But yeah, it's a muscle injury that he sustained. Who was it who got that video when he landed on the plane? Here it is. I found it. This is Bailey here. I've got to show you this video. Got to show you this video of Leon Bailey. Have a look at this one, chat. This is where Bailey landed in Rome. Should work if I do this. Are you ready? Let me know if you've seen this video. Look how pumped he is. Look how pumped old Leon is. It should work. Yeah. I think it says something as well. But yeah, he's like they're like trying to say the audio's not good. Yeah, the audio is not as good on that one. I've seen a better video to be honest. But yeah, he lands and he's very much there. But yeah, so that is the first piece of news. Leon Bailey does land in AS Roma with a muscle injury, and that's absolutely just Leon Bailey. Look, I'll show a positive video of Leon Bailey though. This is probably my favourite ever moment of Leon Bailey. I'll be honest, and guys, did you use it? There you go. I'm out unsubscribed. That's fine. Most muscle injuries come from underuse. I thought it'd be yeah, what happened to Dave? What did he not like? I've only talked about Leon Bailey's injury. Is he a big Leon Bailey fan? But I don't know what else I could have said. Not liking any of your thoughts or comments really. All I've said is that Leon Bailey's had a muscular injury. It's very Leon Bailey because look at his injury record at Villa. Can you remember when Leon Bailey came back from injury, kicked a ball, and then got injured again? It's very Leon Bailey. Yeah. Most muscle injuries come from either strain or underuse with Bailey. Which would you pick? He got a lot of minutes in pre-season. Leon Bailey got a lot of minutes in pre-season. That's how missing he was, that people didn't remember that he played in pre-season. But he definitely had a lot of minutes. I like this one. Thing is, Josh, if he played for 3 weeks, he'd be missing anyway, let's be honest. Facts. So there we go. Only the people that worked at Roma showed up. Right, have a look at it. Go on, Rich. I like that. Cheerio, Dave. But yeah, right, here we go. Have a look. I'll give a positive spin of Leon Bailey. Who remembers this video of Leon Bailey? Who remembers this moment here? Probably, actually, Do you know what? Probably my favourite Leon Bailey moment, where Lille went 2-0 up, 3-2 on aggregate. Who remembers this Bailey rendition? I really like this video. I actually think this is probably my favourite Leon Bailey moment. And this is when the guy was cooking on fire. Here we go. Have a look. It's subtitle. Real time. Like a real bit of leader. He'd just come on, I think, didn't he? Bailey had just come on the pitch. 68 minutes in, Diaby starts over. That sends me a little bit of goosebumps, that, because that was a massive game. No joke, actually. That's just put a little bit of goosebumps. That's like a massive Villa folklore that where we came back from against Lille, because that looked really dusty. And we looked like we were going to bow out at Lille and absolutely F it up. And we didn't. We didn't, luckily. But that was a moment where I thought, you know what, mate? There's a bit of character about you there, and I quite like that. I quite rate that. So that's my favourite Leon Bailey moment. But unfortunately, you can't go and get injured like that in your first training session. You can't go and basically cause a little bit of a name about yourself, which he's done. Everyone's gone, fuck's sake, Leon Bailey again. Who, when people saw that news that Bailey got injured, no one was like, ooh, that's out of the blue. I think everyone was like, that's so Leon Bailey. So there we go. Let's see some of your comments. Let's hope Bailey at least does not have returned to principal club upon long-term injury. Yeah, he won't have to come back to us. So he can go enjoy life in Rome. He can go tour the Colosseums. He can go eat some pasta and being very like stereotypical there. But of course, the Colosseums in Rome. He can go and enjoy life in Rome and see what it's about while he's injured. But muscular injury, you can't really say, he's been underused, because as I said, I think his pre-season, he had a lot of minutes. He had a lot of minutes in pre-season, so there we go. But Dave must have been a super fan of Leon Bailey. Paul Aston says, if these helps means wages are at the stigma, I'm sure we'll have incomings. Can't imagine letting Cash go out of plan, at least cover the position for years. Let's go on to Matty Cash then, because look, Forest fan comes in. I hate to break it to you, mate, but you're stuck with him. So I've got a few articles. I've got a few articles to show you about the Matty Cash situation. Some from Fabrizio and some from Tanswell, and let's go with that. And that's Bailey is far from Gladiator, isn't it? But people, I've got a bad feeling. A lot of people, the sad state of affairs is, I think with Villa, we can't spend large sums of money. I think we'll get 2 loans in and 1 youngster in. I think that's what we're looking at. I reckon Villa are getting 2 loans in, and 1 youngster in. But there you go. Right, let's get the Matty Cash stuff going. Mr. Noff says, do you consider ever getting a green screen? The setup I'm in at the moment, I don't know if anyone heard, a little bit of disclaimer. Basically, I'm moving house. I'm sat on a wooden floor. My legs are like, I don't know about anyone else, but as an adult, I certainly can't sit cross-legged. Like, in primary schools, when we were children, we were like forced to sit on floors, weren't we? Cross-legged and all that. I honestly don't think I've got the flexibility to do that. My legs are in absolute bits. I've got a table in front of me. We've got no furniture. So yeah, we are just basically moving our legs. And yeah, I'll let them be free. So if you do see me a little bit like there, yeah, you'll know why. But yeah, big up to you guys. Green screen though. I've used one before. I like the natural look, and where I'm moving house, we're going to have a new vibe. We're going to have a bit more of a professional look on our background studio. Let's say that. A bit of neon lights, shall we say, and design by Heidi. Mainly Heidi. She's got the better eye. So yeah, she's going to help me design something good. Even Duncan has joined us. Right. Josh, serious question. Now, can you see Villa letting Rodgers go in a deal that involves Jackson? No. But I think Chelsea would try some dirty business with that, Bozzy. I think they will try some dirty business. Jimmy Neon likes kinky. Well, yeah, well, I don't even know how to respond to that, Jimmy, but there we go. Yes, we're looking to buy Jackson Centre and buy Cambo. That is the transfer coming in, isn't it? Let's save the Jackson talk for the next 10 minutes. Let's cover Matty Cash. and then let's go for the Jackson talk in a minute. But let's do Matty Cash situation. VJ wants more likes, so ramp those likes up for the Vamos. Big up to Ant, who says, yeah, listen, I wasn't on last night because we had so much to do in the moving house, and I thought we've worked hard today. And I don't like missing a couple of days in a row. I like to stay consistent. I've even said, Heidi and I have agreed that I'm going to be able to do the watch along on Saturday. It's very touching. I said, all I need is that TV and the Fire Stick and a bit of Wi-Fi. So listen, we are going to be able to do the Brentford watch along, but I'm going to have to bubble wrap all the TVs basically straight after. So big up to Heidi for making that happen and letting us be able to do the Brentford watch along, because all the other TVs have been bubble wrapped, and I've pulled in the favour. So yeah, I'm very lucky. So yeah, we are not going to miss Brentford on the weekend while moving, and I'm very fortunate for that. So yeah. Is there a chance Marlon goes this window? Yeah, Unai doesn't want to play him. Look, Donny's agent's going to be busy man in January if things continue like it is. Yeah, absolutely zero chance with that, Duncan. Agree on that. And yeah, big up to you guys. But yeah, I try to come on most nights. That's always been my goal, to be live and consistent, because I love talking to you guys all things Villa, and it is getting spicy at the back end of this video. And thank you to everyone who's actually got their notification bell on as well. Like that's massive for me. If you've got your notification bell on and you're not missing the lives, then that's world class from you lot. Right, where's my Matty Cash bit of news? Here it is, Matty Cash. So, Jacob Tanswell came in and said the following this morning, 8 hours ago, to be precise. And then we'll talk on Jackson. Big up to Michael Huggins as well. Thank you for coming in. Tanswell said this, an explainer and background on why Nottingham Forest are considering a reunion with Matty Cash, plus his current situation at Aston Villa. Exactly that, Duncan. Exactly that. Look, if you know this channel well enough, you know what my reaction was when I saw that. You know what my reaction was when I saw that. Pray reads out, hands together, pray for Nottingham Forest. What can we do to help you? Now, the cash-inners, get it? The cash-inners, the people who like to cash in, the cash-inners out there, because there are cash-inners, there are people who keep defending Matty Cash and keep telling me that I am negative and too harsh on Matty Cash. The cash-inners, you better not be doing the same. But I know they're out there. I know the cash-inners have secretly saw that news and gone, yeah, the price is right, we're doing it. The cash-inners, yeah? You really want to actually cash in on the money on Matty Cash, but you can't because you've defended him. And, you know, it's a bit like me, I'll be honest. I'm a Watkins die on the sword type of bloke. I will defend Watkins till I go blue. I will defend Watkins till I pop. Yeah, Watkins can miss 10 sitters in a row. I'm going to have to defend the bloke because I've chosen to die on the sword for Ollie Watkins. Right? The day he leaves the football club, it's going to be a day that it's going to be tough. But cash-inners, what are we saying? Because you guys saying, you know, we're too harsh, Cash is good. You know what? You can't be. You can't be. You actually can't be happy with this, can you? We've got to keep our best right back, right? We've got to keep the main man. We can't be selling Matty Cash to a rival. So there is this talk, obviously, that Unai doesn't want to get rid of his right back. And we'd be pretty fucked if we sold Matty Cash, because who the hell can play at right back? But maybe Ezri Konsa is going to play right back for the season, and maybe old JD is going to come in. Do you know what? Maybe it's time for Ezri to play right back, and we've got a new plan. Yeah, what a deal that would be. Yes, please, Duncan. So here's what the article is. Now, if you guys don't pay for the Athletic, I've got your back. Let me show you a bit more detail of this. By the way, I'm in my living room, windows open. Someone is absolutely stinking of weed outside. That's crazy. That is crazy like that. Why Nottingham Forest are considering a transfer return for Matty Cash from Aston Villa? Matty Cash's future at Aston Villa has been the subject of debate in successive summers. Yes, exactly. That's the worry. You know what? That line there in itself just tells me everything I need to know. We've been debating for months whether we should be Matty Cash out. Now, listen, are you cash in or cash out? Are you someone who likes to cash out or cash in? Are you cashing out or cashing in on this guy? Let me know in the chat. Yes, Brainy, start that. Cash out. Absolutely kerching out. There was interest from AC Milan in 2024. Bloody hell. Didn't even know that. What are we doing? We should have cashed in every penny there. So cash out every penny. And now the Athletic, the dole out. Come on. Nottingham Forest a potential deal. He is among the options to strengthen the right side of Nuno Espirito Santo's defence. Our writers, Jacob Tanzwa and Daniel Taylor, explain Cash's situation, why Forest be interested. Why did Forest want him? It's a priority for Forest to strengthen their fullback positions. What? Why? I thought Forest had a very good fullbacks. You mean to say that a club like Nottingham Forest aren't happy with just Aina and Nico Williams, and they actually want to strengthen and develop? That's news to me as a Villa fan. I thought you were only meant to sign young prodigies and never play them. I thought if you had one right, but that's it for life. Like, am I selling for? I'm selling for 15 mil. I'm taking 15 to 20 mil for him, 100%. 100. So Forest aren't happy with Aina and Williams. They want to upgrade. There we go. That's a sign of a good club. That's a sign of a good club. It was during that time the Polish international started giving serious thought to putting him on the international stage. He's 28 now with a World Cup behind him and is still well regarded, not just by Forest supporters, but the club's hierarchy. Oh, God, what I just pressed there. Cash was transferred to Villa in September 2020, made Forest initial 14 mil. We paid 14 mil for Matty Cash. Woo. I'll take my money back. More than anything, however, he is on Forest list of targets for one simple reason. They think he is an experienced, talented player who provides strong competition for Ola Aina and Nico Williams, the regular fullbacks. And Aina's got the AFCON. Guys, that's my point again. That's my point again. They are actually saying, look, we need better depth at right back. So Cash is going to come in and compete with Aina and Nico Williams. They actually want more depth, people. Who would have thought? What's Cash's situation at Villa? He remains a key player for Unai Emery and a regular starter in the first choice. Given how Emery wants to build from the back in an asymmetrical shape, with the left back high and the right back usually Cash tucked in to be a third centre back, he's grown accustomed to the particular remit. Guys, that's why we're going to sign a third centre back, right? And Cash out. Konsa comes in with another centre back. Yeah. Name us one player we can get at that position. Well, according to the formation and what Jacob Tanzwa was playing, we're going to sign a centre back, which is what I've been banging the drum for a while. I said, screw the right back. We clearly don't play with a right back in possession. Go get a centre back. Go get a centre back. Go replace Diego Carlos. When are we going to realise that the way Unai Emery plays is that if Unai Emery had his way, he'd actually play Kamara, Mings or Powell and Konsa. Like, if Kamara could do a job on that right back position, and that's why I'm saying I see Ezri Konsa taking over that right back slot soon. I really do. You heard it here again. Ezri Konsa is going to go back out to right back this season. Mark my words. Mark my words. Ezri Konsa goes and starts playing right back again for Villa. Who's with me on that one? Or who's saying that's utter shit? Shut up, Josh. Please, I don't want to hear that rubbish. What are you talking about? That's how I feel. I see the game plan. I see Ezri Konsa coming in that asymmetrical shape as we play and playing as the third centre back. McGinn right back. Some well-known podcasts defend Cash. I don't know why. He's not developed apart from being more drilled up past the back. He doesn't know what dribbling is and gets wrong. Yeah, I've seen that as well. Maybe they've got him lined up for an interview. I don't know. I don't get this obsession with bigging him up as more than he is. Look, Bozzy, Forest also want Leif Davis for back up at left back. Forest are not messing. They go, we need 4 quality left backs, or 4 good left backs, or 4 solid left backs. We've done that on our left back position. We haven't on the right. I'm honestly saying, I'm honestly saying, and yeah, I get what Rich is saying. No chance, just not in a World Cup year. Potentially, though, Rich, if Conte shows his versatility for Thomas Tuchel, especially in the back three, if Thomas Tuchel wants to play that, Conte has a better chance. But yeah, Jadon Campbell is going to be that guy. I just see it. I see us going to Conte right back. Paul says, are there any stats on our right side defence attack for last year? Memory says not as good as the left. Yeah, our left is cut so much more. If you look at Matson and Dean's assists, contributions compared to, say, Cash and Conte, if you want to put him there. I just feel like we're getting put over there. But yeah, Michael and Duncan going to the game. Love that as well, boys. Love that. Yeah, Bogard could do a CG. Yeah, so I mean, we've got Bogard, guys. We don't even need a centre back. We've got Bogard. Everyone was hyping Bogard up in pre-season. We've got Bogard. So let's take 15 mil for Cash and go there. But yeah, this is my point. Cash isn't asked to do the same job as Dean and Matson. Exactly. Cash is being asked to play like a centre back. So why don't we use one there? Why don't we use one there? Why don't we actually play a centre back there? Martin Watkins ain't happy, agree mine. Moreno's gone to Girona, taking a massive pay cut on that. We're going to go into Nicolas Jackson talk in a second. But yeah, I'm just going to finish this article on here. Here. Emery's preference for a defensively minded right back is restrictive on how often Cash can go forward, instead holding his position. Therein, using his pace against an opponent's transition while staying safe and secure in possession. This, in part, led to a solitary league assist last season and caused some consternation from supporters who believed they could upgrade in position with extra productivity from the right side. But quite frankly, Cash is carrying out the role Emery asked of him. Little one on that. Whoever was in the stream with Luke and I the other night, exactly what Luke said. Matty Cash is being asked to do a job by Unai Emery. Now, maybe that in itself, I keep seeing people say that, I'm able to actually understand that and say, do you know what? It's maybe not Cash's fault. He's been asked to play a position he can't play, but he's sticking out like a sore thumb. So it's on the manager. It's on the manager. If we keep playing Matty Cash, it's on the manager. It's on the manager for playing him out of position. So which one is it? Is it on Unai Emery for playing Cash in a position that he does not like and cannot play very well? Or is it on Matty Cash? Or is it both? You tell me, chap. You tell me. Who's that on then? Don't tell me it's on Don Unai, the one we cannot criticise. Because if he wants to play Cash as a third choice centre-back, as in the side that's coming across, shuffling over with Konsa and Mings or Powell, then why don't you just play a normal CB there like you did with Ezri Konsa? So who's it on? Because I don't think people want to say it. I don't think people actually want to say, do you know what? The Matty Cash issues on Unai Emery. Because people don't like putting it on Unai. Yeah, I agree, Shane. He does. I feel Constance needs a little kick up his ass. To be fair, Constance's quite a tap man as well. He did a job where it was right centre back, but it's clear that Emery loves Cash. And big up to my man Meeks. This guy's the biggest legend ever. This guy's the man. Big up to Meeks. He said, yes, Cash is playing to instruction. He certainly is. Has got to be instruction. Look, and this is the first time. And Rowe was really good, actually, Jimmy. He was. And whoever said about Rowe, yeah, Johnny. Look, first time I probably sat here going, do you know what? I might actually lay off Cash a little bit. And maybe I'm going to put it on the manager again. Every time the manager's playing Matty Cash in that role that he's not familiar and accustomed with, it is costing Aston Villa. My manager has to take some backfire. So either play the formation that suits Matty Cash, a bit more balance, or put a centre back in there. But don't keep playing. My favourite phase, I feel Aston Villa is square pegs and round holes FC. I'm sick of it, really. I'm sick of seeing square pegs and round holes. John McGinn, Morgan Rogers, Matty Cash. Do you know what I mean? Yuri Tillemans, stop. I'm still pissed off that Yuri Tillemans was played so out of position at the weekend. It's ridiculous. Our best creator, our best passer of the ball, stuck in the number 10 role where he can't distribute or contribute on the ball. Nah, I'm not having it. I've said Joe Gomez for ages. I've said Joe Gomez for ages is the man for me. But because of the Canate situation, it's really frustrating. But Joe Gomez for me, whether people like it or not, yeah, CB right back is there. Villa in. Instructions, hardly told him to play that ball. Oh, yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. First of all, it's Unai's fault for picking him. Then Cash has to take responsibility. He's a professional footballer. Once you cross that white line, yeah, it's on the manager, but then it's up to you. How do you perform? You either perform to standard or you don't. I agree on that. But team selection's on the manager, right? It's not on us fans. It's not on the player. Team selection starts the manager. They do need to play that. If you want to cook in this Villa team, then we know the best Villa 11. I bet each and every one of us can name 9 out of the 11 best Villa 11. So why is it we as fans can see it? Because I guarantee we're all sat here in the current best Villa 11. We're going Emi Martinez, Cash, Konsa, Mings and Powell will be a debated one, whoever you want there. The left back's a debated one, that's 2 positions. Kamara, Tillemans, Evan Gessond, Morgan Rogers, Donny Mallon, Ollie Watkins. Best team, best 11. Everyone in their correct positions. Everyone playing to the custom role they know. Question. How many times will we see that best 11 on the pitch in the Premier League? How often will we see a front four this season of Evan Gessond, Morgan Rogers, Donyell Marlon, and Ollie Watkins? Now, unless we sign another striker, which we're going to go into in a minute, then that changes. Well, I think we're going to have to. I think we're going to have to, Duncan. I think we're going to. He did in pre-season do a roll out there. 0. 1 time we're lucky. Exactly, Bobby. Exactly. Crazy. Cash has been part of the 3rd best defense Premier League this calendar year. Only Arsenal City conceded less than us in 2025. Is that true, Gary? Is that actually true? Madness if so. I mean, still using spread Dean Smith squad 6 years later. Crazy, Ant, when you say that. It's true. To be honest, the whole team was out of sorts this weekend. From what's been said and done since Jay leaving and wobbled head. Yeah, I've got some, as I said, I'll come on to that probably at the end, Paul, on that one. Poor Palace as well, getting absolutely stripped. It's disgusting what's happening, isn't it? But yeah. Emery is the king of fixing things that aren't broken, yeah. Exactly. Oh, the dog's just shoehorning McGinn to start in the lineup is my biggest frustration. If he's not in the pivot, he needs to be on the bench. Great captain. Exactly. Look, I think if you don't see Kamara and Yuri Tillemans in that double pivot on the team sheet, my head's gone now. We've got Asensio coming as well. It'll be interesting that starting 11. Once we got all the signings in, I'll probably do a stream on that. Let's pick our best 11 when all the signings are announced. But do you know what? If I don't see a Kamara Yuri Tillemans double pivot in the on the team sheet, I'm already thinking, not sure about this. I don't know if anyone else gets the vibe. It's the first position I look at. Where's my double pivot? That for me. What is out of interest, chat? Where's the first position you look on the team sheet? Like, what's the first thing when the team sheet drops? What's the first thing you look for? What's the first player you look for, maybe, or what's the first thing you look for? I'd love to know. Mine's genuinely the double pivot, and then second is probably trying to work out where Morgan Rogers is going to be played. Yeah, true, Martin. People are. We've got a few more out, Martin. We've got a few more out. Moreno's gone. Dendonka's gone. Few of the Deadwood's drifting. We've got to make a decision on Buendia. First of all, I look for the wingers and pivot. Brainlet, so the RB, yeah. Rogers and the 10, exactly. I thought that would come up. Yeah. Right. This is what Fabrizio, though, has gone on and tweeted to make this situation about Matty Cash a little bit funnier is that this came from Fabrizio. So the Matty Cash situation, we may have to say goodbye to it because Fabrizio said, exclusive, Nottingham Forest in advanced talks with Jose Angel Corona from Sevilla. Spanish right back, new title for Forest, with talks now underway. What we do know is Forest are after a right back. What can we... and it looks like they're going to go to Sevilla and try this guy here. So yeah, I don't think the Matty Cash rumours have got any substance to it as such. Maybe he's on their list, but I think they feel like they can go elsewhere, and Sevilla, the option in Sevilla looks more likely than not. So yeah, looks like Fabrizio has killed our hopes of Cash going. It looks like Forest are going to go in for the Sevilla right back. So yeah, exactly that, Ilge. Exactly that. That's probably the team I'm looking at. Johnny wants to see who's up front. Sent it. Just over half of you hit. Yeah, big up to Meeks, who said just over half hit the like button. If you haven't already, please go like the stream. Agree. Big up to my guy Meeks. Get those injectors sorted, Meeks. Get those injectors sorted. I don't know whether that sent it will make Emery play Rodgers that position. So oh wait, he already does. Yeah. I stand by it again after my stream about the tongue-in-cheek Villa civil war. By the way, anyone who was offended by me saying the word war or civil war, yeah, I had someone actually come at me about that, referencing war in one of my videos. All right, if you're offended by that, I'm deeply sorry for offending anyone in saying Villa civil war. It's coming, people. I know it's coming because it's the year of Unai Emery being tested, and how far and how patient. It's going to be one of them. So definitely lock in. I'm locked in. I'm ready, and I'm ready to mediate in the chat, and I'm ready to mediate stream. So this is going to be your safe venting space. This channel here, you're not going to get banned for hating on Unai or disagreeing with Unai, and you're not also going to get banned or locked out for loving Unai and supporting him. I want to make this channel a place where you can debate in the comments, debate with me over and cleanly the issues that will happen at Villa this season. Because it ain't going to be plain sailing. But do you know what? I still believe we're going to win something this year. If we sort out that bottling mentality. If we have genuinely got rid of the cobwebs of bottling mentality, if we find the mindset to get over the line, which is something we haven't done yet, then I genuinely believe we actually we're actually going to be weirdly winning. But what I am going to say is I think it's a very Spursy season on the cusp. I think that the Premier League is going to be a really tough watch this year. Don't know if anyone else feels the same, but I feel like the Premier League is going to be a really don't know what to expect type of season. I think this Brentford game, I can't lie to you, and I'm going to be proving it. I don't want to give too much away, but I'm a little bit scared about Brentford. And it's the second game in. And when I say scared, everyone's got Brentford to be tipped for relegation. Everyone keeps saying Brentford in serious trouble. What if? Where does that leave us? Yeah, those thoughts have been going through my head. Bozzy said, first time since Unai came, I'm having serious doubts of his choice on the team sheet. Again, Bozzy, I think, I'm sure it's he was absolutely adamant, or was it British Mitt? I cannot remember. He basically said, PSR and SCR are not an excuse of why Guess on the Malin didn't come on at the weekend. That was on Unai. This is true. We could finish anywhere between 5th and 15th. It's actually true. Pick a number. It's actually true. Villa Infinity War, Villa Endgame. Yeah, that could be the endgame. It could be. But you know what? I might have to steal some of them. This season. But yeah, people are having a sense of meets at no time snowflakes that look any. I know. I couldn't believe it when I had that comment. Unai has achieved 7th from 6th with transfer net spend of -10 this time. He's the king. And again, I'd love it, Gary, if he does it again this season. I really would. Why can't we turn it very fast? That's the biggest question. That is the biggest riddle. No one hates United. He's just frustrating. 2 defences would cost him a job. I predict Glasner comes in as Villa manager. Glasner, wow. At least we'll never lose to him again. Look, I agree. I don't think anyone's got a bad word or bad blood against United, but I think there's a lot of frustration I think there's a lot of frustration about this guy. I think that's the right word. It's not hate. It's not anger. It's frustration. Um, but yeah, Euro Tillemans for me would be our penalty taker. But I wonder if no Asensio. Oh no, I just realized if we're saying Asensio, it's going to be there. Um, yeah, I think our mindset's going to be massive. I think our mindset is going to be huge. I really do. I love the debates because I get sidetracked and I'm thinking, what was I going to talk about next? By the way, Douglas Luiz is going to Forest with a 30 a loan and then a 30 million obligation. Dougie back in another team. Interesting. Right. Let's go to it. Let's go to the Jackson crap. I'm not having it. Let's just be real here. The Nicolas Jackson stuff has done my absolute head in. I don't understand. I just want people to try and explain. If you are Jackson in, if you're not sorry, Miss Jackson, but you're actually hello, Miss Jackson, yeah, then tell me why. Like this is where it just pisses me off with Jackson. We are getting ourselves into one of the most financial pickles of a situation with Miss Jackson that I just don't want to be in. How about this? I saw this one today. Aston Villa are exploring a deal for Nicolas Jackson, and the Newcastle AC Milan move can't be discounted. He's expected to have several options if the 18 million valuation set by Chelsea drops below 70 million. Are we fucking okay here? No. Sorry, Miss Jackson. You ain't 70 mil. You ain't 60 mil. You're actually not even 50 mil. I'm paying 40 million tops. Sorry, Miss Jackson, but you ain't for real. You really 70 mil, guys. I don't care how good his stats are. I'm not even looking at his stats. I'm going straight to the first part of the deal. 70 mil is if it drops. 70 mil if it drops. I can't. That just pissed me off. Who do Chelsea think they are to get that money? Who? 60 mil? No. 70 mil? No. 30 million? Yes. 40 million? Just about. I like this. Jackson's Chelsea Prem stat, 65 games, 24 goals and 10 assists. But 80 mil, no. And that's the point. I've gone past looking at his stats. I saw the price. I saw the price. Honestly, Emery knows Jackson. He's record for improving players. Do fans know better? Look at what Borough fans thought of Emery and Rodgers had our pants down. Fans know nothing. I don't for a second believe that Jackson will work well under Unai, but I can't even look further than the price. And we are a club. Do you know what I mean? We are a club that basically, right? We are a club that are crying about our financial situation. Crying about our financial situation, and we want to go and get involved in a deal of 70, 80 mil. Come on. 40 minute box of drumsticks, is that it? I can't understand it. Can't understand why people are there. And 50 mil is just a crazy. And that's what I said. Would you swap Emmy for Jackson? Mm. Oh, very good question. If we were really struggling for a striker and we really need a goal, I'm tempted because I quite like what Marco Bizot's about. But even then, I'm thinking, how could we let Emi Martinez go for Nicolas Jackson? Emi Buendia, yes. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a really tough question. So then I thought, okay, no one's going to pay 70 mil for Miss Jackson. No one. No one. So what next? What next? So this one then got me looking. This is Ben Jacobs. And yeah, it's because there's there's a shortage of strikers. So this is the next news about Jackson. Again, I'd love to know people's thoughts and feelings on this. It's understood that clubs interested in Nicolas Jackson are being told a loan with obligation may be possible under the right conditions with a 10 million loan fee. Aston Villa are exploring a deal. Fucking hell. This is a mess. This is an absolute mess. It's a mess. So we've got to pay 10 mil loan fee, 10 mil loan fee, and then get stuck in an obligation to buy a player who Chelsea have put at 70 mil. So I'm thinking, with the 10 million loan fee, by the way, it's hilarious. 10 million loan fee. And we're crying about spending 15 million on a defender, by the way. Sorry, I've got to laugh. I got to laugh. Because this is where I can't talk. Like, I actually get people commenting on my videos, and I'm just looking at them going, but I don't even care about his stats. I wouldn't even care if Jackson has scored half the goals he's played games. Let's just talk about the fees first before we even think about that. 10 mil loan fee is outrageous. And if we sign Jackson on this, if we get Jackson on this, I swear, I don't want to hear one Villa player, one manager, one fan moan to me about PSR, SCR. I don't want to hear it for the rest of the season. If we lock down Nicolas Jackson on this deal, I honestly don't come here ever mentioning. But we're struggling because of PSR. It's not fair that we can't get Champions League because of the financial restrictions. I don't want to hear it. Because we're thick enough to pay a 10 million loan fee for Nicolas Jackson and then get stuck in an obligation to buy of a player who Chelsea are regarding as 80 million. So maybe the obligation to buy might be 60 or 50. I can't. And again, you might think you're absolutely off. I'm barking at the wrong tree here. Or you're thinking, yeah, you understand. I don't know. I don't know how you lot feel. Come on, be real. How do you feel? How do you all feel about that? 10 million loan fee and obligation to buy. Is that something you want our club to be stuck in? Who's obviously a financial mess, cannot compete. There you go. Yeah, he does bring it. Yeah, I can see Jackson doing the same. Although I paid 10 million, 15 for Trossard. Exactly. But this is my issue, Gary. We can't just say, do you know what? We're that desperate to get someone in, or just do whatever it takes to get Jackson. Because guess what? He's twerking his bum for us. Oh, Nicolas Jackson wants to come to Villa. Let's just get him in because we've got such a boring transfer window and we need to bring someone in. So let's just rip ourselves off. It's only a 10 million loan fee and an obligation to buy 50 or 60 million for someone who could be absolutely crap for us. It's crazy. Jackson should be going to the mid-table Premier League. Exactly. Rich should be furious. Exactly. Yeah, Trossard's locked into a new deal at Arsenal, so that one's gone with Trossard. Depends what the overall transfer is. 10 million loan fee plus 30 million transfer. Take it. It won't be, though. This is the thing, Villa Shane. It won't be. Go back to Chelsea's evaluation. They think he's an £80 million player. You know? Chelsea in SCL Brown stuff trying to raise cash by September could get UCL back. Yeah, let's quickly get that article up. Gary said, yes to Jackson, bring him in as an understudy to Ollie this year, main man next year, long-term planning is what we do. I'd be really good to have a lone player on a 10 million fee, just sit there and do nothing. Like, understudy. Come on, Gary. What are we doing here? It's not like he's a youngster. This is a guy who plays week in, week out, or used to for Chelsea. Where's this Chelsea article? I've seen it. I've got to find it. Got to find the Chelsea article now, where they're basically the shit as well. Yeah. Where is it? Give me a sec. Because you just reminded me who I put that in the chat. Where is that article? Fenerbahce versus Benfica, Duran and Baranchea have both been carded. Right, where is it? I can't believe Arsenal signed Eze as well. That makes me ill. Poor Spurs have been Spurs again. Where is this article? I've got to find. Here it is. Here it is. Have a look at this. Daily Mail reports. Mail exclusive. Share this tab instead. This is the news at Chelsea. This is the news at Chelsea. This is the news at Chelsea. Chelsea's race against Hunter Salah or risk signing has been banned from the Champions League, and 110 million sales for João Felix, Ben Chilwell and co won't count. Guys, Chelsea basically need to sell, otherwise the likes of João Pedro and that can't play. The reason why this relates, because why can't I read it? You have to get a trial. So, right, give me a sec. People, give me a sec. I'm gonna be able to. I'm not going to show you, but I've got a little hack. I've got a little hack on how you can read articles. How you can read articles without paying for a subscription. Here we go. Yes, here we go. I've got it. I ain't paying for that, but I've got my hack. Here we go. There it is. Okay, I've got it. Let's actually read it. So Chelsea are in trouble. We should just fuck Chelsea over them, shouldn't we? The clock is ticking for Chelsea, who now have less than 2 weeks to prove to UEFA that they have balanced their books enough to be permitted to add their abundance of summer signings to their Champions League squad. The Blues have sold João Felix, Petrovic, Broha, and Leslie. How has Broha and Leslie gone to Burnley for 45 mil, by the way? Like, what's going on in this world? How is that happening? How are they doing these deals? However, none of these sales will help their case in the eyes of European football squad Burnley, whom they've entered into a settlement agreement in July after flunking financial rules, and nor would find new homes for exiles such as Raheem Sterling and Ben Chilwell. That is because UEFA have now confirmed to Confidential that their auditors will only be accounting for the money made on those who were named in the squad submitted by Chelsea for last season's Conference League knockouts. Wow. So players who didn't play in the Conference League, they don't count. So Dewsbury Hall, Noni Madueke have helped, but Felix hasn't. So that's why they need to get rid of Jackson and Nkunku. Chelsea's complex agreement with UEFA included a record fine worth 26.8, rising to 78.5. Right. Basically, I'm reading this. Chelsea, you need to sell. By the way, I'm surprised no one has put in the chat, I don't want to hear about Chelsea. I want to hear about Villa. I get that sometimes when you dare mention another club. So what are Chelsea doing with Nicolas Jackson then? What are Chelsea doing with Nicolas Jackson? Let's be real. What are Chelsea doing with Nicolas Jackson? You need to sell. You need to get them off your wages. And you're suggesting and proposing an 18 million transfer fee for Jackson? Or a 10 million loan fee? Damn. That shit's crazy. In a way, I don't know if anyone else feels about it. Do you know what? Screw signing Jackson. Let's see Chelsea rock. Let's see Chelsea actually not be able to put their new signings into their Champions League squad. It's about time there's some justice, right? I see what you mean, Gary. I see what you mean. Yeah? So, fuck Chelsea. Let's just put them in the financial ways. Spurs will take Jackson now. Yeah, that's true, Villa saying. Nkunku. Would we rather Nkunku than Jackson? Would we rather Nkunku than Jackson? I've seen Nkunku wants to go to RB Leipzig. A lot of people like Nkunku over Jackson. It's bad, isn't it? The fact we would rather go for Nkunku, he's probably got a worse record than Jackson at Chelsea. And there we go. Slap ring, get arrested. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Jackson will end up in Newcastle, put money on it. I don't know what's happening there. Asensio, I'm not convinced Porto was anything about Rashford. Yeah, Asensio's a mixed one. Sounds like when Villa spent 8 million on Man City and Steven Naylor, even though it's 6 months. Yeah, and then he got injured, and they are a scam club. So it's a weird one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure really. I don't know. Brainy saying he's been arrested for writing something. I'm not sure what he's saying. I say no to Nkuku, and we already have Tillmans, McGinn, come on. Nkuku play forward. Mr. Burnley throws a hard bargain. It's all a chain. In Newcastle, he's at Liverpool there as a complex. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Do you know what I will say this as well? How the hell? I said it that. How the hell did Chelsea get 45 million for Broher and that Leslie guy? How Burnley paying that? That's in my head in as well. It's always Chelsea, man. It's always Chelsea. I hope we back to Chelsea this season. So yeah, as I said, we need to address that forward issue. I can see Jackson and I, I think Jackson again will be a split one on the fees, but yeah, I just don't know. Jan Visa, Brentford, poor old Brentford, right? Poor old Brentford. Poor old Brentford. They're getting absolutely ripped apart as a club. Manager gone, key players gone. If Visa goes, it's just like poor buggers. They used to be such a well-sustained club. They used to be such a well-sustained club. I feel bad for them. Yeah, people, big up to you. Make sure you're smashing the like button. Loving these engagements, conversations tonight. Did Chelsea give Burnley the money? Bit of dirty deals, exactly. There's something dodgy. I don't trust Chelsea. Out of all the top six clubs, Chelsea's the one I'm like, I don't trust. Don't trust them. I don't trust Man City. I think Liverpool probably. Think Liverpool operate in a better way. I think Arsenal are okay. They're just, yeah, interesting, isn't it? I'll take Semenyo in a heartbeat. Semenyo's that's the guy. That's the guy as well. That is the man. We'll beat Brentford. We bet. I'll rephrase that. We better beat Brentford. Especially, how we're looking at them. Big up to Duff. Said, "Why Pojo is offended by Villa?" Yeah, exactly. We can't be dealing with that in this day and age, can we? We can't be. We can't be. So yeah, a little bit more news then for you all. I thought that was a very interesting thing about Chelsea. They are in a financial little bit of a predicament, so they do sort of have to move on Jackson. But as I said, we're not getting tied into that, are we? We can't. But yeah, here we go. This was an interesting stat as well about Evan Gesson. We love Semenya there. I think it's a frustrating we haven't got to see this guy properly. We actually haven't got to see this guy properly because the preseason games he got 10, 15 minutes, right? We haven't been able to see Evan properly. Among under 23 strikers playing across the top 7 leagues in Europe, Evan Gesson ranked top for successful attacking actions with 136, 5 more than Hugo Ekitike, who was next best. That's great. You just can't do that from the bench. I think Hugo Ekitike started his first game, Premier League debut for Liverpool, after like maybe one preseason game of that. Yeah. I'm still furious if you're not aware that the fact we didn't see Doniel or Evan at the weekend it still baffles me to this day. Every club plays their new signings on the first game of the Premier League. Why didn't we? Still not over. And I swear, the clock's coming out now. I swear, if I see Evan and Doniel Marlin on the bench against Brentford, nah, Saturday's going off. Saturday is going off. And I swear, if they're on the bench and we don't beat Brentford, that's when you're going to get the double crock. Turkey would have been class. Yeah, someone said this about Emre signings, that they don't play. Yet weirdly, I saw a weird stat. Leandro Dendoncker, 12 starts at Villa, none under Steven Gerrard, who signed him, all under Unai Emery. Make that one make sense. Make that one make sense. My charger's about to go. The charger's over there. What? What? I've just seen this come through about Chelsea. No, this is where it's broken. This is where the world is broken. Let's see if my card reach it. Have you seen this? Again, if anyone wants to go, oh, why are you talking about other clubs but not Villa? Well, allow it because this has just come up. Blue Co reach agreement with Brighton to sign Julio and Cisco. The 20-year-old Brighton midfielder and Paraguay international expected to initially spend time at Strasbourg, but viewed as long-term Chelsea player. So basically, Chelsea have got too big of a squad. This is absolutely outrageous. This is why I hate Chelsea. Chelsea have got too big of a squad that they can't fit in Cisco in this season. So they've actually sent them to their little club in France, Strasbourg, who Chelsea own. He's going to play a season at Strasbourg, and then what's going to happen is next season, and Cisco will be a Chelsea player. So basically, Strasbourg are just looking after him for Chelsea, babysitting him. How is that allowed? That type of shit winds me up. And Cisco's getting babysitted. A free babysitting service for a year. I can't. The game's gone. Game's gone. Right, my little final point on Villa then. I do want to come on this. I was going to say it till last. Now, this is going to split opinions again. I don't, again, you know me, I don't talk again, but I want to say it. Matty Cash are going to cook this season. They've got to play, though. They've got to play. Do you know what I mean? They've actually got to be on the pitch. Get Matty and Jan Bissat. These times make us much stronger. I want Hector 45 mil. Matty leaves. Yeah, big up to you, Shabab. I think Jan Bissat is the dream signing. It really is. That's true, Paul. And Cisco's a baller as well. Yeah, he is. I think people are going to suggest that we start new signings. Less of that talk. Let's play out people out of position. Bring on players. It's the Villa way. Yeah, crazy to think we want our new signings to play. Sharik, big up to you, my guy. Not a chance either man gets on the start. My head's going. But yeah, people, even though I'm moving, we have been able to lock in the watch along against Brentford on Saturday. So make sure you're there for it. And of course, the crunch talk will be the next day. Win or lose, we're doing a crunch talk. That's my show. The day after game day, we're calling it crunch talk. We're reviewing it, and we're reviewing it, and we're reviewing it, and it's a crunch talk. We don't hold anything back. So yeah, we'll do the watch long. There'll be a video match reaction, and then the live show is always the day after game day, and we're crunch talking it. No filter, no snowflakes, no woke talk. It's crunch talk. You know the one. But yeah, I'm saying funny. Right, last bit. John McGinn, Tyrone Mings, very vocal. You probably heard, you've seen it. Basically, come out and say, don't say a bad word on Jacob Ramsey. The world's football's gone mad. This is the way football's going. X, Y, and Z. I've got two things to say on that. I was really, really disappointed, if I'm honest, that they were that vocal about it. I'm not going to lie. I don't think it's for them to say anything. Yes, say how humble and great Jacob Ramsey was, which they did, how he's one of their own. Great. I think that's great. But the second part for me, I didn't like. I don't need John McGinn or Tyrone Mings' opinion on Jacob Ramsey. I don't want them telling the fans, nah, we don't want to hear a bad word on him. Well, I'm sorry. But two things. Don't start hiding behind PSR as a reason why on the field isn't going well. Because guess what? Not beating Ipswich Town last season. Not beating Brighton when we drew 2 at home. Dropping points stupidly against West Ham. Not beating Man United. The dustiest Man United team who just lost the Europa League final. That's nothing to do with PSR. That's the players' performances and Unai Emery. Nothing to do with PSR. And it's the same for this season. So stop using that. And John McGinn is using that. He did an interview in America where he kept alluding to that. He's just done it again. And if I hear him do it a third time, that's where my head's going to go. And then finally, Jacob Ramsey didn't do enough to make him unsellable. Jacob Ramsey didn't do enough to say, you can't get rid of me. Because do you know what? Morgan Rogers ain't getting sold for that. Do you know what? I don't think Kamara or Tillemans are either. He didn't do enough. And that's my say to Tyrone Mings. He didn't do enough. Didn't do enough in pre-season. Didn't do enough across the last 2 seasons. Injuries or not, he didn't do enough. And that's and then. So they were upset that he went. And they said that they were upset to see one of our own go. Fair. But they made a jibe about PSR. And they made a jibe about that fans shouldn't be a bad word on him. He didn't do enough. It's the brutality of football. And again, it means you guys could be in that bracket soon. Do enough. Hold your shirt. Hold your place. Do enough. And that's my thought on it. And I will end on that. And that is, again, my stance this season. If I feel and see players using PSR as an excuse for on-the-field performances, not about how we couldn't bring people in, but individual performances, collective team performances, then that's when I'm going to be clocking. That's when we're going to be having crunch talk. And that's when we're going to be saying, do you know what? Don't hide behind that. Because there are fans going to use that all season, by the way. There are going to be fans, and they probably don't come on this channel because we're a bit realer and we're a bit more realistic. There are going to be fans out there who are going to hide behind PSR all season. Oh, it's unfair. Oh, we're 12. Oh, we couldn't do anything. What are we meant to do with PSR? Right? I hope that we're real enough to go, whatever happens on the pitch after the transfer window, that's now on us as a collective, as footballers and as a manager. And we can't use any excuses. Right? Surely we're on that camp, people in this chat. Surely we're there going, do you know what? We can't be with no excuses FC when it happens on the pitch. Regardless if you need to upgrade, regardless if you need that, we have to now just deal with the tools we've got. So don't use PSR as an excuse all season. That's how I feel. Players a bit precious when protecting their mates. You're as good as your last performance. Exactly. Sentiment doesn't exist. And that's maybe where McGinn and Mings are a little bit worried. Sentiment is going to run out for them as well soon. But yeah, guys, it's been a blast. We're going to wrap up here. I'm going to go do some more packing. Going to lift some wardrobes, actually. And yeah, we're going to go after that. But I'm absolutely delighted to be able to get on here and to talk to you guys. I appreciate your time, as always. Agree. How about their agents not to milk every single spare penny possible on Bleat? Exactly. But yeah, people, if you haven't already, smash the like button. Another favour from me, as always, is do turn that notification bell on. I absolutely love it when people have got their notification bell on. It means you're here in the live stream, ready for a chat. We'll try and keep the daily uploads going. But obviously with moving, things can happen. But I think we're all good. But yeah, if you've got your notification bell on, you're all on. I appreciate it. And yeah, I am moving cool boys. So we're going to crack on with it. Shout out to everyone in the chat. VJ said we had 6 likes achieved. If you had a comment and I missed it, if I had a comment and I missed it in this chat and you really wanted me to see it, comment on this video after and I'll make sure I reply. I do need to catch up with people's comments on my last few videos, but I'm sure people can appreciate it's been busy. Chat, enjoy your, is it Wednesday today? I'm losing track of this. Enjoy your Wednesday, halfway through the week. And yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. Touch wood, fingers crossed, all think good. And I'll see you on the next one, people. I'm out of here. Ta